My name's Campbell, and I'm the creator and lead developer of Before the Deep. And
Look, I made you some content.
welcome to our second dev blog. In this blog, we'll be going over Aether, the gas which drives the world of Before the Deep. In a world mostly covered by an impenetrable layer of toxic cloud, ships are vitally important for trade, travel, and warfare. We usually refer to our ships as airships,
No points for guessing why.
but they shouldn't be confused with their real-world counterparts. On Earth, an airship relies on a lighter-than-air gas to produce lift, usually hydrogen or helium. The difference in densities of the surrounding air and the gas contained within creates a force acting upwards, as the lighter gas tries to rise to the top of the surrounding air. We actually see this effect on a daily basis. Bizarrely, it's the same phenomena that causes liquids to separate or ice to float in water.
You can also create a vacuum airship, but that has some obvious problems.
While this makes them very efficient, lighter-than aircraft aren't capable of lifting much. For example, the Hindenburg was the largest flying machine humanity ever built, and weighed in at a respectable 200 tons. Compared with the Boeing 747, despite being 230 times smaller than the Hindenburg, a modern 747's max takeoff weight is twice that of the airship. However, our ships are heavier, far heavier, with the largest getting into the 10,000-ton range.
They also don't burst into flame if you look at them funny.
Mass-wise, they're more comparable to a naval ship than anything flying today. If you were to try to lift this mass with hydrogen, you need an airship the size of 3 Empire State Buildings, or 3,822 Olympic-sized swimming pools, or, to use the standard unit of volume, 4,606,901,042 bananas. As you might have noticed, our ships aren't anywhere near that size.
All rich in potassium.
So how do our ships fly? The ships in Before the Deep rely on Aether, the substance at the core of the law. While we've gone out of our way to make sure the physics within the world is as accurate as possible, Aether is our McGuffin that allows things to function. The basic rules of Aether are simple. When heated, it produces an upward force. The more energy added to the gas, the more lift it produces. So in a sense, our airships function more like hot air balloons, requiring a constant flow of energy to maintain flight. However, Aether still follows all the rules of an ideal gas in the real world. The hotter it gets, the more heat is lost to the surrounding atmosphere, and the more pressure it exerts in the container it's held within. These laws act as natural limiters on the size and altitude our ships are capable of.
You can't just fly to space.
On board a ship, Aether is contained within lifting cells, large gas vessels filled with an intricate network of pipes. Heat in the form of steam from the ship's boilers is directed through these cells, increasing the temperature of the ether and producing lift. If a ship's boilers were to go cold, or the lifting cells were to be damaged, the ship would rapidly succumb to the pull of gravity and be plunged into the void below. Aether is a naturally occurring substance, one which humanity has been unable to farm or create artificially. In the era of Before the Deep, the only known source is from whaling. However, as the demand for Aether has grown, whale pods have become increasingly rare, now only being found in the expanses of the deep sky. This has vastly increased the price of the gas, and forced whaling ships further and further into the open sky, a realm humanity was never supposed to explore. This has plunged the world of Before the Deep into a crisis, as air travel becomes more and more expensive. Humanity's expansion onto lands only accessible via airship has set it on a course of disaster and upended the power structure of the world. But we'll explore this more in-game and in Tales from the Deep. And that's it for this devblog. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. 3,820. This is going to be really difficult. Lighter than aircraft aren't capable to use the standard. Oh, bollocks. If you were to try and lift this mass with hydrogen, the substance at the core of the law. While we I got distracted by the rhyme.